Good morning, everybody. All right, so we're going to be working hips, glutes today, and you are going to want a blanket, ideally, mostly for your knees, unless you have a really nice cushy mat or you're on a surface that isn't super hard. And have your blocks nearby and a strap. So we're going to do a little bit of everything, but it's all going to be around this area. So be kind to yourself today. And I wanted to start class. I've been reading um, lots and lots of poems from Mark Nepo's book called The Half-Life of Angels. I love his work, and you all know that if you've been with me for any length of time. And so that as I kind of stroll through the book, I've got tons and tons of little dog ears because I love his work so much, and every time I turn a page, I find something else that I want to read. So get comfortable. You know how to sit that feels good in your body. So and then find your center and maybe close the eyes for a moment. And the poem that I'm going to read is called Before. Before a bird can fly, it falls. Before a fish can swim, it sinks. Before we can say yes to life, we sputter and hesitate. Everything that matters is brought into the open by this give and take. Before, before a fire flares, the wood must burn. And before we can see the shimmer of what is, we must burn what we want. Too often, the things we wear as failure are just the physics of grace. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So, we think about that, right? As we move through our yoga practice, and I love that word practice because we each day we sit on our mat or we lay on our mat and we bring to mind this beginner's mind, and we realize that here we are practicing. We are rising and falling, we are exploring and experimenting, and we're finding our way, right? Just like a wave or like the bird that jumps from the nest and first has to fall before it can fly. So, with that, let's start to draw the breath in. And when you exhale, exhale deeply. Inhaling, nice deep breath, everyone. And exhaling fully. Good. And keep that up. Nice deep inhales. And exhaling either through the nose or the mouth. I find sometimes if I exhale through the mouth, it actually settles me more. It's almost like a sigh, right? A relieving of that tension. Good. Couple more breaths right here. And notice how each breath brings you more into the center, into the quietness. Good. Last one here. And then let the eyes flutter open. Just roll the shoulders. Start to wake up our body, especially if we're tired today. Good. And then bring the shoulders all the way up. Keep them up and squeeze them back. So you're way up at the upper back. And then start to bring them down maybe by just little half inches and then bring them all the way down and let them settle. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale right to your heart. Interlace, press out as you lean back, curl back, drop the chin to your chest. And then press the arms forward as you lift up. Maybe look up a little bit, but please don't drop the head all the way back. And feel the stretch, like press the back of the ribs forward, really stretch through the thoracic spine here. And then exhale, curl it back in. A little bit of a seated cat and cow here. And take it up. Good, nice inhale, exhale, curl. One more, inhale. Waken the body up. Exhale, curl it in. And then take the arms up. Release those hands. Take one arm down. Take the other one over. Just stretch it out a little bit. And then reach over the knee and circle that arm. And exhale, side bend. And then reach and circle. We've got one more just like that. First a side bend. And then a reach and a circle. Good. Take both arms up, switch sides, take that hand down. Come on over, find that side bend, like feel the stretch of the muscles between the ribs and then reach over the knee. There's a nice little stretch for the back here. And then circle and over, reach and circle. Good. Last one. And circle. And take both arms up, bring them both back to your heart, roll the shoulders back and shake it out. Good, and then let's straighten the legs out to the front. You can sit on or off blanket here, depends on your hips. Excuse me. And find Dandasana. I love Dandasana for working with posture, right? Working with lengthening the spine, because this is not so easy for everybody to sit in this L shape, but also for the firing up of the legs and the quadriceps in particular. Flex your feet. Let's get the fronts of the shins active. Engage the lower belly. Maybe take those arms up, soften the shoulders a little bit. And then just check, where's your head in space, right? It should feel comfortable, as if all four sides of the neck are even. And then squeeze the beach ball. Yeah, so now we've got the back active, we've got the legs active, we got the feet active. Make yourself taller. And breathe. You're looking straight ahead. You're not looking up, not looking down. Exhale, let those hands come down. Press the hands into your mat. It might be fingertips for you or palms of the hands. Draw the shoulders back, lift the chest. Lift one leg. I know, I warned you in the beginning. Here we go. Find your breath. Maybe take the arms up again. Squeeze the belly, everybody. Deep breath. And lower down. Make yourself tall. Exhale all the way down. Press your hands into the mat. Roll the shoulders. Lift the other leg. One of the things to think about, right, is as one leg lifts, the other one is pressing down. Whew, good, breathe. So good grounding here. Find your breath, lift up really tall. That's it. Lower the leg, make yourself tall. Exhale all the way down. Whew, good. I want you to lean back, bend both knees. You're going to press the hands or the fingertips, depending on how it feels for your shoulders, lift both legs. But I'm just going to turn to the side so you can kind of see what I'm up to here. The chest is open, the feet are lifted. Press one leg out like you're stepping that foot on a wall. Watch the back here. Make sure your hands are supporting and then bring it in. Press the other one out and in. Good. First side. Yes, core work. Second side. Bring it in. One more. Press. Woo. And in. Press. In. Find that little soft spot on your butt where you can balance. Take the hands underneath your thighs. Press the chest forward. Boat pose, right? All kinds of variations of boat pose. 1, you're here. 2, one hand goes out. 3, the other hand goes out. Find your breath. Hands back to your thighs. Let those feet go. Straighten both legs. Whew, shake it out. Good. And then grab one of your blocks. We've done this a number of times over the years, but we're going to play with it a little bit today. So you're going to take one block and let's keep it down low for now and take a foot on either side and then maybe come out a little bit wide. Again, blanket, no blanket. You're going to lean back, but not slouch back, right? I love this from a leg and psoas strength perspective. So simple, simple. You're going to take one leg, tap it over to the other leg, and bring it back. 4, 5. Nice tall chest. Here we go. So 1 and 2 whew, and 3. I'm already feeling these. We're in trouble. 4 and 5. Stop. Lift up tall. Other side. 1 and 2. Whew, and 3. Flex your feet. And 4. Whew, and 5. Good. And come up. Take that block. Bring it up to the second level. Good. Little stretch. Shake it out. Always know you can stop or pause. All right. Lean back. Start with the other leg first. Here we go. 1. You're just going over that block. 2, 3. Anybody feeling that yet? 4 and 5. Open up. Sit tall. Other side. 1, 2. Try to flex your foot. 3, 4. I know. And 5. Good. Sit tall. Shake it out. You can always take those hands and just rub your thighs a little bit. You know what's coming. Take that block up high. You got to go over the block. For some, that's real easy. For some, that's a lot because these hip flexors are having to really engage to get that leg up and over. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know. 5 and pause. Sit tall. Shake it out. I love these. They're so simple. They're kind of fun. They kind of hurt. All right, last one. Here we go. 1 and 2. Whoop. And 3. Yes. Belly in. 4 and 5. Oh, shake it out, everybody. Rub those thighs. Good. Block stays where it is. Maybe turn it so it's kind of a little lengthen wide ways, I guess, and then bend your knees, lean back. So tricky again, you're going to see if you can tap both heels on top of this very wobbly little block. So try not to like get the upper body really yucky. Try to keep it lifted. You got to lean back enough. Here we go. 1, no hands. 2, 3, 4. Good. 5 and come on down. See, that wasn't that hard. Find your breath. Good. I'll turn sideways so you can see. You're going to lean back. You're going to put both heels on that block. You're going to sit up really tall, really tall. Good. 1, hands are here, support, especially if your low back is chatty. 2, the hands are out. You're going to lift one leg off that block, set it down. 2, switching sides. 3, 4, 5, 5 more. 5, 4, yep. 3, 2, and 1. Hold the heels here. Lift up really tall, everybody. Take your hands underneath your thighs and just step off your block. See? Piece of cake. Good. And then come to Baddha Konasana. Now, for this, you really might want a blanket or a pillow underneath your butt just to help bring the pelvis forward into a little bit of an anterior tilt, not a whole bunch. Watch your backs. You know who I'm talking about. And then sit tall. And just feel that, like, right? Gravity takes the knees. We don't ever push down. If you want blocks under the knees to help support you, go ahead and do that. What I do like from a stretch standpoint here is if you have a decent range of motion, one, the hips have to really externally rotate, and two, the knees aren't super high. So you got to just be mindful here. Take the hands on top of your knees and push up isometrically. So that's kind of on the sides, not out here, but up like on the top. Yeah, there you go, Celeste. And then push the knees up into the hands. Now, this I find very safe. It's working the muscles isometrically as opposed to pushing down. And then just let go. And breathe. Let's do that 2 more times. Hands are there, knees are where they are. Push up, straight up, push into the hands. And breathe. Good. Watch your posture, watch your head. Thank you, thank you. And let go. Feel that. This is active isolated stretching. I love it. It's great work. In Sarasota, Aaron Mattis is the one I know who maybe created it. I'm not sure, but a lot of his work is brilliant. But using isometric work and then releasing it, active isolated stretching. Shake it out. All right, we got one more here, one more little core thing, and then we're actually coming down to our sides. So this is also a boat variation. I like this one a lot, again, for working with the side body. You're gonna lean back and take the knees up and then crisscross the ankles. So this, you press the ankles against each other, which creates this kind of hold, right? This ability to press against each other to hold the legs. You're going to start to really feel this. And then your hands are in front of you. You're going to do soft presses out. 1, 2, 3. Go slow enough to feel your core work. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do 10 more because it's so much fun. Come on, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let go. Holy moly. Woo. Good. And then grab your blanket and lay it in the middle of your mat because we're coming down to our sides. So we're going to start getting a little more specifically into hip work. So I'm laying on my right side. You can lay on whichever side makes sense for you so you can see or hear or whatever. And then your choice, but if you're okay, come on down. For you, you can rest your head on your arm. For me, I may have to keep my head up a little just from a volume standpoint. And make sure, if you can, one knee, the bottom knee is on your blanket somewhere. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it. We're not going to do too much there. All right, legs are stacked. They're at 90 degrees. Your belly is toned in. I like to put my elbow up at my hip just so I can tell when I'm moving my hip, okay? When I'm moving it away from the center line. Start easy, clamshells, take the top knee and open it up. Now, if you roll back, if your hip goes off the elbow like that, you're rolling back, you're not using the muscle. Hold that leg up, feet stay together, and just reach back and feel the spot that should be engaging. Yes, ma'am, right? Yeah. So if you roll the hips, you lose that. So let's start here, do 10 of these. So squeeze up, pause at the top. 2, 3, yep. 4, belly's toned. 5, notice the top hip is not rolling back. 7, 8, come on. 9, and 10. Good. Lower, lift the foot, not the knee. Just the foot. Hold. You're going to feel this in a little bit different area. These are all the muscles that are wrapping around that hip joint. All right, 10 of these. And 10, 9, pause at the top, everybody. 8, 7, yep. 6, belly is toned. 5, 4, squeeze at the top. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, maybe rub out that hip a little bit. Take the whole knee and foot up off the other leg. Make it level as if it were resting on a table. So when you look, it's just bent so that your knee and your foot are in the same line. And then flex your foot. Now, you're already probably feeling this because of what we just did. Now, I want you to pretend that your foot is on a wall and you're going to make a circle with the sole of your foot. Or another way to think about this is you're going to circle the knee. So imagine the foot is staying on the wall best you can and circle nice and slow. Ooh, big flex of the foot. Yeah, you got it. Breathe, make a big circle. If you were trying to imagine the wall or a window that's foggy, and that foot is trying to make a circle around that foggy window. Oh, good. Last one, big circle. And then take the knee toward the chest and keep it on that imaginary table. Squeeze it back behind you. Good. Bring it to your chest. Squeeze it in. Slide it back. Keep it on the table. And 3, we're just doing 2 more here. Squeeze. And 4, squeeze it back. Try to access that glute. And 5, squeeze it back. And then let go. Nice job, everybody. Press yourself all the way up and turn yourself around. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Right. So you can kind of roll on that hip we just did, and that'll feel kind of good. A little massage there if you've got something under it. And then come on down. Bring those knees, stack them together. Find that. When you're ready, I always like to flex the feet. It engages the front shins. Knees or feet stay together, the knee lifts. First lift and just hold. And again, maybe the hand is on the mat in front of you and your elbow is pressing into the hip here, just so that you don't roll backwards. You want the hips stacked, one on top of the other. So when you lift the knee, just lift and hold and see if you can find the muscle that we're working with here, right? Right back in here. Breathe. From here, let's do 10 of those. So 10 and 9. I love clamshells. I really should do these every day. 6, 5, 4, 3, yes, 2, and 1. Good. Release. Keep the knees together. Lift the foot. Lift and hold. First, find what we're supposed to be engaging, and then lower. Let's do 10. 10. Yes, ma'am. 9, 8. Good. Belly squeeze. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, yeah, feel those, and 1, good, release, and then lift the whole leg like you're laying it on a table. It should feel fairly level to you. Flex the feet hard, or foot, and imagine that's pressing on that foggy window, and you wanna clear that fog, so start to make a circle. Go slow. It's really interesting when you go slow, and you try to kinda keep that leg on the table. You're not lowering it a whole bunch. You're it's almost like we're circling the muscle all the way around the hip joint there. If it's too much for you, please go ahead and pause, just stop, rub it out. And last circle right here. And then hold it on that table, bring it in toward your chest. It's really coming into that arm, right? That armpit. And then slide it back along the table, squeeze your glute. Don't go into the low back. Bring it forward. Slowly slide it back. Bring it forward. Slowly slide back. Good. 2 more. Squeeze in. Press it back. Last one. Squeeze it in and press it back. And then release it. Nice job, everybody. Press all the way up. Woo! Wasn't that fun? Oh, yeah. Big joy there. And come on up to table pose, everybody. I'm just going to move my blocks over here in case I need them. We're not going to use them right now. Keep something under the knees if you need it, because we're going to be on the knees for a little bit. Come to table pose. Now, for my lovelies out there that have some wrist issues, you can always drop down to your elbows. You just have to be a lot more mindful of your lower back when you do so. Squeeze the belly in, press the right leg back, lift the right leg, level out your pelvis, and then bend the knee. Good. We're going to be here for a little bit. So here we go. Just start to lift up, lift the knee up and squeeze. And then just back to neutral, not all the way down. Squeeze. It's like a pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bring it all the way down to the other knee. Keep the foot flexed and press up. Bring it down. Here's what happens when we go slow. We target what we're looking to target. 3, we got 2 more. You go fast, you're gonna overshoot it. You're gonna go, what am I even doing here? And squeeze. Good, release that knee down, just shake it out. Come back to center, shift out the hands if you need to. Good, and then that same leg is gonna go out to the side. 4, 5, slow, take it out to the side. Squeeze where we're supposed to squeeze and down. And 2. And 3, squeeze at the top, just 5 of these. And 4, and 5, hold that 5th one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, extend the leg out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower that foot right where it is, out to the side. Your ankle to your hip line, nice and even. Walk your hands back, a little gate pose here. Come on up. Yeah, inhale, take it up. Exhale, slide that hand down the leg gently, stretch to the side here. Nice tone to the belly. Watch the low back here. Find your breath. Nice stretch for the belly, hopefully. And then take both arms up. Listen up. You're going to lower that opposite hand, but you're going to take it out a little bit. So it's a little tricky. So take that same side hand to your hip. Take the other one to the floor, find the floor, and then lift the other leg. And you can take that arm up. It's like a little quarter moon here, finding your breath. You're stacked on one knee. Breathe. And then push off, come back to gate. Yeah. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, hands down. Almost done here. The knee that's on the floor, keep that hand on the floor. Take the other one up and let's come into a beautiful little twist here. Good. Breathe. Exhale, take it down. Bring that knee in. I'm just going to turn around because I think my little chair over here, my little swing's going to get in my way. Good. Cat cow a few times. Shake it out. If you need to come up off the wrists and give them a shake, do that too. And then come on back, press the left leg back, tone into your belly, lift the leg, bend the knee. See if you can stay pretty level here. Good. And then pulse up for 5. 5, 4, 3, 2. Give it a good squeeze. 5. And then the knee drops down to the other knee and slowly comes back up to that 90. And down, squeeze up, down, squeeze up, down, squeeze it up. One more right here, down, squeeze it up. Lower it, take it out to the side for 5. Slow, out and down. 2, down. 3, yep, you got it. And 4, woo. And 5, hold, hold, hold. 3, 2, 1, extend out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that foot. Plant the foot. Walk your hands back. Come on up. That leg is straight out from the hip line. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, slide the hand down. Keep it light. I've talked about it before. Make sure you're not pressing down on that leg. Nice deep breath, everybody. Such a nice little stretch. And then take both hands up. Take one hand to your hip. Find the floor with your other one. Plant and lift that leg. Nice flex here. Tone the belly in. Take the top arm up. Breathe. And push off. Come on up. Exhale, hands down. Walk the hands out. Oops. Don't do that just yet. Take the right hand down. I almost forgot our twist. Take the left arm up. Find the wingspan, everybody. That's it. Try not to bend at the wrist, right? Keep that wrist straight out. There you go. Better. Exhale all the way down. Now take that leg back. Whoo, good. Shake it out, everybody. Maybe come back for either a child's pose or a hero pose, or maybe just sitting back on the toes and stretching those out. And I realize some of my friends out there with knee issues, this one's a bit challenging. We're going to get up off those knees, but I understand this part's been probably more challenging than most. Find your breath. Notice your child's pose. Just breathe. Good. And then from child's pose, plant your hands. Engage the arms, the inner elbows head in the same direction as your thumbs. Kind of an interesting way to think about that. Flip your toes under, squeeze that belly in, lift the knees a couple of inches off the floor. Good. Find your breath here, everybody. 1, you're here. 2, you're taking those knees down. That's enough for you. 3, you're going to lift one leg. It's really just lifting your foot off the floor. Lower that. Lift the other. Lower that. And then find downward facing dog. Plant or walk the feet so that you can stretch the backs of the legs. That's it. And then take your feet wide on your mat and walk those hands all the way back. If you've got a pillow, blanket, something there, you can move it out of the way for now. Find your feet at the edges of your yoga mat. So I'm paralleling my feet at the edges of my yoga mat. I'm going to press the knees out isometrically or press the legs out isometrically. Take your hands to your shins, come halfway up. Good. Press the legs out, everybody. Take your hands to your thighs, push into your thighs, soft knees, come all the way up and shake it out. Shake, shake, shake those legs. You might want to find a wall here, right? A wall for balance, something to put your hands on. If not, you're just going to play with balance a little bit more. So come into mountain pose and breathe. And feel the legs. I know I've got my mat turned sideways, so the slats are all kind of weird under my feet right now. So find this really solid mountain pose and breathe. And then lean into one leg. Just lean into one leg and feel that. Once you do that, I want you to engage the glute, right? So feel all this working just with the lean. There's the foundation of this, any balance pose, right? This leg's got to be solid. That foot's got to be solid. And then come to center, shift into the other one. Notice that we're not shifting the hip. We're shifting the weight, and then we're finding balance by engaging all of this stuff going on. Come back to center, shift back into, if I'm not mirroring here, this is my right leg, shift into your right leg or left if you rather mirror. Take your hands to your hips. Take one leg out to the side. Keep the toes pointing forward. We're working that same hip muscle that we were working on the floor. Now, I just want you to tap your toe and lift. 2, find your focus point. 3, 4, feel it. 5, 6, whoo, 7, 8, 9, 10, lower, and take it down. Good. You're going to shift to the other side. So not only is this balance, but it's also hip work, right? So hip, leg, obviously. First, find that. Find the stability through here that's going to keep that leg solid. Take the toe out, hands to your hips, and then lift up and first find balance. Point the toes. And then tap for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and bring it in. Ooh, yeah, shake that out. Beautiful stuff. You don't have to go crazy to work things, right? It can be simple moves. It can be easy stuff and yet super effective. So we're coming back here. I'll turn this way because I could give that left leg a little bit of a rest. We're going to start with the right leg. You're going to tap it back. Hands are to your hips. Check out the hips. Are they even? Low belly tones in that transverse abdominis. And then see if you can just point the toe. For some, this is all the extension we can get from this front hip. If you can lift the toe and then slight pulse, watch the back here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap the toe down, drop the heel to the inside. So the foot's going to be angled out and then lift again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. You might find it's the standing leg that you feel more than the one that's working. All right, other side, you're going to tap back, excuse me, and then check your hips. Real easy to skew here, really easy to overarch and dump into your back. So find that, engage your glute, see if you can lift the toe. You might hang out right here. When you're ready, pulse for 5. 1, 2, small move. 3, 4, 5, lower. Drop the heel in. And then 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Shake it out. Good. Find your breath. And then step wide on your mat. You can turn sideways. Turn the toes out slightly. And just bend the knees and start to rock side to side. Always being mindful of where you are in space. Watch where the knees go here. If your knees roll in, I would change my stance, maybe shorter, okay? You want the knees to track the feet or turn the feet to see if you can find that. And then you're going to imagine this fun song in your head. And Carrie, you might be too wide. Sorry. Your feet might be turned out too much. You could go, yeah. And then start to go down, 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 and up. And just keep swaying the hips side to side. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'm just doing something with them. And down. But notice your posture. Maybe a little mula bandha, right? Maybe a little pelvic floor engagement. And then come down to your level. Take your hands to your legs. Bring the shoulders up. This is called horse stance. Breathe. Oh yeah, like shoulders are way up in the ears, by the way. They're hiked up. Yeah. So don't do it if it hurts, but you want to kind of halfway because you're actually slackening the trapezius muscles around the neck, which can feel kind of good. while you're working those legs. Good. See if you can sit back in your stance a little bit. Little bit. Good. Celeste, if you can, bring the knees back, butt back. Woo, yeah. And then everybody stand up. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Turn the toes and point them forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come down to a squat. Keep the knees over the feet. Don't let them roll in. Look at your knees. Press them out isometrically. Take one hand on either side of your knees. Good. Push out. Knees to hands. Oh, 5. Don't drop the head carry. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, everybody. Whoo! Take it together. Shake those babies out. Good. Always helps kind of bend too, right? Because what do we do when we bend? We're stretching that quad. All right, here we go. Actually, let's grab a block for this one. And take the block between your thighs. And maybe just pause for a second. Because that in and of itself feels really nice. It just kind of brings everything back into center, and you can still get those glutes to activate. All right, loves, here we go. We're sticking with the squats for a little bit. So boat or boat pose. No, not boat pose, chair pose. Thank you very much. Inhale, reach up. Hands come to heart. Go ahead and have a seat. Now, I love this pose for strength. Super easy to dump into your lower back. Here, right? If I poke my butt out and then try to lift the chest, there's all kinds of strain here. So the tailbone lengthens, the chest lifts. How low you go is partly up to you. If you're listening to your body, take the arms up. See if you can hold the beach ball. Squeeze the block, everybody. Find your breath. That's it. You got this, right? Think about the hips. Breathe and then stand all the way up. Squeeze your block, swan dive down. Hands come either to your shins or fingertips to the floor. Find your breath. Bend the knees, hands to knees. Start to lift the chest. Start to lengthen the tailbone. Chair pose number 2. Squeeze in. If it's hard to keep the arms up, you can try bringing them forward. That's a little less effort. You can bring them to your heart, a little less effort. Doesn't mean you're not doing what you got to do, right? Stand all the way up. Squeeze the block, swan dive down. Fingertips either to the floor or to your shins. Feel the sit bones lift up. Find your breath. One more, everybody. Hands to knees. Lengthen up, drop the sit bones, take the arms up. Squeeze the beach ball. Let's get the arms active. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand all the way up. Squeeze your block. Exhale, let go. Take that block out. Shake it out. Maybe walk it out a little bit. So you're going to come to the front of your mat, take the hands to your hips, roll the shoulders back, bend the knees, peel your right heel off the floor, and just hold that for a second. Other leg is bent. Squeeze your belly, and then see if you can lift that foot any amount. And then set that foot back down, drop the heel, and stand up. Same thing, other side. Bend both knees. Peel the left heel. Think about it, right? You got to shift. Take that foot off the floor, any amount. This is known easily as a single leg squat. It's a heck of a balance pose. It's working on all the muscles of that standing leg. Set that foot down. Come on up. Shift back to your left foot. Bend both knees. Listen up. You're going to peel the heel. Watch the hips. See, my left hip just went drifting back over there. Watch the hips. Try to keep them level. Peel the foot. Step back. Yeah, right? Transition, slow transition pose. You're in a lunge. If you would rather drop the knee here, go ahead. If you can keep it up, that would be great. Belly tones, inhale, reach up. Find your breath. Optionally, bend the back knee. You've got to keep the hips back here so that the back hip and the back knee are pretty much stacked. We're working the muscles pretty doggone hard here. So be mindful. From here, just straighten the back leg. Woo! Squeeze the back glutes. Take your hands to your hips. Push off and step forward. Shake it out. Coming back to neutral. Find the hips, bend the knees. Peel the left foot off or left heel. See, right away, this has got to engage. If it doesn't, I just, everything goes this way. So I'm getting ready to shift. So I want to really keep the core active. Take the foot off the floor, step it back, find your lunge. If you're too narrow, go ahead and widen. One of the challenges of stepping back like that is we step kind of right back to one foot behind the other. So find that, press into your lunge, inhale the arms up, engage the back glute, everyone. And then optionally bend the back knee. Now, if you've got foot surgery, foot injury, a really cranky bunion, this isn't going to feel good. So don't do it. Do what feels right. Besides Shavasana, don't go to Shavasana just yet. Good. Take your hands to your heart. Straighten the back leg. Push off, come forward. Whew. Shake it out. I know. Shake, shake, shake. Grab a drink of water if that makes sense to you. I keep seeing people drink of water. Now I need some. All right. How's the legs feeling, everybody? Woo. Right? You feel like you could do like, right, a matrix move or something. All right, front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair pose. Breathe. Find that chair pose. Feel the chest lifted, the belly tone, the tailbone heavy. Take the arms up. Find your breath. From here, we're doing a forward fold by taking the butt all the way back. The legs straight and the hands come to the floor. Peel your right heel off the floor. See if you can lift your right foot off the floor. Harder. Step all the way back. Big lunge. Big, big, big lunge. Breathe. Hands to your knee. Take the torso up. Inhale the arms up. Hold on to that beach ball. Bend the back knee only if you want here. Breathe. Straighten the back leg. Exhale, hands down. Right hand down, left arm up. Let's come into a twist. Fire up the back leg, everybody. Beautiful. Here's your wingspan. Where is it for you? Exhale the hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Mindful here. Plank pose. Plank pose. Squeeze the legs like you have a block there. Lower the knees. Lower the torso. Lift the legs and press the hands back isometrically. So I didn't move my hands. I'm just lifting the legs. It's like a half locust pose. Glute work, hip work. Lower the legs. If you can, press up to plank. From plank to down dog. Find your breath. Look through your hands. Step forward, right leg. Step forward, left leg. Bend the knees and come all the way up. Exhale to your heart. Take the hands behind you, interlace. Press back. And breathe. Good, release. You know that was only one side. We gotta do the other side. We'll walk around like this, it won't be good. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, come on down, everybody. Oop, sorry, come on back up. Ha! You would hate it if I missed chair pose, wouldn't you? Breathe. Take the arms up, optional, always optional with the arms. Watch the legs, watch the hips. Breathe. Exhale, swan dive. Find your breath. Soften the knees, peel the left heel off. Harder still, see if you can get the left foot to lift and then reach that leg back. Make sure your pose is wide enough, not long enough, but wide enough. Take your hands to your knee, lift up, inhale up. Find your breath. Bend the back knee optionally. Focus. Breathe. Press the back leg. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Left hand stays down. The right arm reaches up. We find our breath. That's it. Exhale, hand down to the floor. You know what's coming. Down dog, everybody. Breathe. Plank. Strong legs, everyone. Lower the knees, lower the torso. Keep the hands, just see if you can lift the legs and isometrically pull the hands back. Breathe. And then lower, press up through plank to down dog. Look through your hands and step forward, right or left leg. Step forward, right. Bend the knees, take it all the way up. Exhale to your heart. And shake it out. Just circle those shoulders a little. Circle the arms. Just shake it out. And then we think about that that poem of Mark Nepo's. I think about that baby bird taking its first launch and then lifting off. And I feel like that's what we do every time we practice yoga. We go. All right, balance work. One more. So I'm going to give you a couple of options here. One, tree pose. We're going to start right leg standing, left foot, taking it wherever you would like. Second option is a little bit different. It's a figure 4 and then a squat. Okay, so we've taken this hip and externally rotated it a whole bunch, much like tree pose, but then we're going to come into a squat. So you decide for you what feels right. I find tree more accessible. Find this a little harder. Flex the foot, the bent foot. The standing knee is obviously bent. Breathe, working into that glute again. Optional. You're going to bend forward, take your hands to the floor. I should have had blocks there, but I didn't. Breathe. Optional, straighten the standing legs. So now you're in this weird figure 4 with the standing leg straight. If you're in tree, play with your tree. Bend the standing knee. Take those hands back to your heart and lift up and shake it out. Celeste was smart. She grabbed her block. Other side, grab your blocks. Bring that floor to you. Oh, shake it out. So again, same thing, other side, right? It doesn't matter which standing pose you do. Don't let this hip get real sassy. That's for other things. Bring it in. All right, find your pose. Either your tree or stand in figure four and see how that feels. Flex this foot. Find your still point in front of you. And then when you're ready, see if you can squat. Hands to heart. That's where you might hang out. Breathe. If and when you're ready, you're going to lean forward and find your blocks. Make sure you're keeping the hips back here so you're not shooting over your foot with your knee. Breathe. You can straighten that standing leg. Bend the standing knee. This is the hardest part. You got to get that chest to lift, hands to heart. Lift the chest. Stand all the way up. Whew, and let go. And then just go wide on your mat. And hips, deep hip bend. Take your hands down. Let's just come into an easy forward fold here. Nice, easy breath, everyone. Imagine gently pressing the feet away from each other. Once again, accessing the outer hips. And then imagine gently pressing the feet together isometrically, accessing the inner thighs. And then walk yourself, start to turn the feet, walk yourself until you're back at the front of your mat. From there, down dog. From there, knees down. You may want to grab your blanket again for the middle of your mat because your hips are going to be on that. And then come on down to your bellies. Just shake it out a little bit, rock the hips side to side. Take the feet wide on your mat. Try to plant the pinky toes. Your head can rest on your forearms. It can also rest on a block. Or I'm using my fist for my chin so I can keep my chin up. Lift just your right leg. Keep the hip point on the floor. And lower that down. Lift the left leg. Keep the hip point on the ground. As best you can, the rest of your spine is neutral. And lower down. See if you can lift both. This is where people will tend to get into a little challenge, especially if their SI joints are a little wonky. Keep the hips level. Lengthen through the spine. Breathe. And lower. Walk the feet in so they're hips width apart. Flex your feet so that your toes are on your mat. Your feet are flexed. From here, lift your knees so your legs are straight, your toes are on the floor, your glutes are active. Lift just your right leg and lower. Lift just your left leg and lower. Lift both if you can. They're not going to go high. Keep the feet flexed. Breathe. And lower. Whew. Shake it out. We're almost done. Rock it a little bit side to side. And then lower the legs. Maybe go wide again just a little bit. Take the hands under the shoulders and bring the elbows back. I want you to isometrically pull those hands back. We were here earlier and just lift the legs. And breathe. 1, you're here. 2, the hands are going to go back behind you, palms face up, legs up, arms up, chest, head up. Take the arms out to the side, palms down, optionally. Take the arms forward, palms face in, locust pose, and lower down. Woo. Nice job, everybody. And then just come up to Sphinx pose if you can. We'll stretch out the back in just a moment. Walk both elbows to the right. We're stretching out, hopefully, the left side belly. Good, walk those elbows center. And then walk them over to the left. And breathe. And center. Lower all the way down. Listen up. You're going to turn on to one side. And bend the knees. Cushion your head with your arm. Bend the knees. That's going to soften all that back work that we just did. You're going to take the top leg and bring it up toward your armpit. The top knee up to your armpit. Grab a hold of it with your hand. From here, you're either going to keep a hold of the shin, or you're going to just grab your big toe with your peace fingers. Elbow is inside the leg. There you go. And you're going to take that leg straight up. Breathe. Ground the bent knee that's on the floor. Find your pose. Soften the shoulder that is holding that foot. Try to soften it down toward the floor. It's not going to touch, but just see if you can soften it. You got it, Celeste. And then bend the knee and lower it down. Good. Turn over. Switch sides. Start with bent knees. Just pause for a sec. And then bring that top knee up into your armpit. I just like that from a stretch standpoint. And then the arm goes inside. You're either going to grab your shin, your knee, your toe, and take it straight up. Ground the leg that's on the floor. If you're overreaching, if you feel like you're straining, please go for the shin instead of the toe. Big deep breath, everybody. And then bend the knee, bring it back into your armpit, and lower down. Good. Come on to your back. Just feel the back for a second here. Let everything settle down. Bring your right knee to your chest. Wrap or bring the right arm inside, grab your big toe or your shin and do a half happy baby. So happy baby is kind of a weird pose to me. Your sole of your feet is as if it were stepping on the ceiling. Your knee is heading toward your armpit or your outside shoulder. Just pause here. Optionally, you're going to straighten the left leg down, but just be mindful here it doesn't throw your hips off too much. And then release. Both feet back to the floor. Bring the left knee to chest. Take the left arm inside the knee, grab a hold of your shin or your big toe, and just straighten the shin. The shin is parallel to the wall. Sole of the feet as if it were going to step on the ceiling. And then optionally straighten the right leg. The other way folks will do happy baby is instead of the big toe, they'll grab the outside pinky side of your foot. That helps keep the ankle from sickling. So if that's an option. And then bend the right knee, release the left. Both knees in toward the armpits. Both hands inside the legs. Either grab the outside of your feet or your big toes or your shins, or you can wrap your elbows outside and then inside the hands come towards each other. That's a really nice way to do happy baby as well. Hmm. Back of the neck is long. Try to press the sacrum down. Let the hips be heavy. Release whatever you're holding on to. Bring those knees together. Keep the right knee to your chest. Straighten the left leg. Ooh. Stretch one leg away from the other. And then grab your right knee with your left hand and come into a twist. Nice deep breath, everyone. Good. Bring that knee back to center. Bring the left knee in. Squeeze both knees in. Hold on to the left knee. Stretch the right leg straight. And then right hand to left knee. Bring the left knee across. Don't overdo your twists here. Good. Release that side. Come back to center. Bring your right knee to your chest. Wrap your interlace your hands in front of that knee and push that knee away from you, straightening the left leg. Just a little hip reset. And then bring the knee in, switch sides, left leg in, right leg straight. Your fingers interlace either in front of or underneath your knee, and then push that knee away isometrically. Bring the knee in, both knees in. Last one here, both hands to the outside of your knees. Push your knees against your hands. Push out against your hands. Release, take both fists inside your knees. Squeeze your knees and resist. And let go. Straighten one leg and then the other. Finally, we find Shavasana. Find your breath, everyone. Let the legs go wherever they feel most comfortable. Palms of the hands are face up. Soften down even more. For those of you who are ready. Start to deepen the breath. Maybe take the arms overhead and give yourself a big stretch. Imagine that you have just woken up from a beautiful nap. And then slowly start to bend the knees. Go gentle as you bring those knees into your chest. Start to rock side to side. Allow the knees to roll over to one side or the other. Curl over into fetal pose. And then ever so slowly press all the way up to your seated pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Bow to your own inner sense of adventure and exploration and that beginner's mind. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.